Guys, we're excited for today, all about synthesizers, all about the Prophet 6, and you're going to hear Marcus play on this in just a second. And along with the conversation of synthesizers, we do want to thank Aerospace Audio for partnering with us, for being a proud sponsor on the Worship Keys podcast. I got their app pulled up, AeroPads app. If you use this app, let us know in the comments. They got this awesome Atmosphere pads pedal that I've used for probably a year now. Use it at some D-Nows and definitely plenty of churches that use this pedal. It's great. So it's basically a pads pedal. And if you use this Atmosphere pedal, let us know in the comments. Version 3 is out right now. So, that's really awesome. There's so many different features here. There's the live setting, the set list, sound packs. The new one, the Rocket Science sound pack. If you guys have tried the Rocket Science sound pack, let us know your favorite one. My favorite one is Ignition. I like that patch. If you had that, let us know in the comments. But it's cool to have some droning pads underneath what you're playing, whether it is like a synth line that you're playing or just your regular keys. Like, it's really cool to have these droning pads there. And so Aerospace Audio is really great. Isaac and the team, we've had them featured on the podcast here before, had a great conversation with Isaac, and he's the main sound designer for Aerospace Audio. But what I love about it too, there's lots of different ways to use it. Caleb King, he plays at Encounter Church and plays for Garrett and Kate, and he uses Atmosphere pedal. But what he does is he MIDIs it into Ableton, and the Ableton will trigger the next song, which will trigger the next patch, which is really cool. And techie, a lot of you guys like to rig that up, which is pretty cool. If you're tired of just the same boring pads that you typically use for your Sunday morning and you want a better experience, Aerospace Audio is going to give you that. So definitely check them out. We'll link that in the show notes here in the description. Definitely let that. By the way, the app is only $7. So, and it's very biblical number, This pedal I think is $300, $350, something like that. Definitely affordable. Some people prefer the analog. By the way, you can load in new pads into this pedal as well. If you don't want just to rely on this forever, you can upload the new sounds, which is really cool. But I think the app is really intuitive. You just have the different keys listed out, and then you just press it and fades in. There's a setting tabs that you can, set to the crossfade time and all that jazz. Then there's like a major key, neutral key, and a minor key. So say you're playing in minor key, you can definitely hear the minor stuff coming out here. But yeah, check that out. It's for iOS devices, for your iPhone, for iPad. So anyway, if you use Aerospace Audio, whether that be the AeroPads or Atmosphere pedal, let us know. So we're getting down into this episode today. Thank you to Spencer and Isaac for sharing their full Worship Keys rig with us remotely. So if you have a Worship Keys rig, by the way, definitely email me, Carson at theworshipkeys.com, or DM us at Worship Keys Instagram account. You can tell me, hey, I've got a great Worship Keys rig. Here it is. Let me know a little bit about it, and we'd love to feature it here on the channel. And I know Easter is coming up, so it's a great time to update your keys rig, get some inspiration from other people all around the country, really all around the world too. I hope you guys have been enjoying 2026 episodes so far. I would love to know also in the comments, what songs are you guys doing this Easter? What songs are you guys planning to do? All right, so we're in front of the Prophet 6 now, Marcus. This thing has been on the road with you for a long time.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit more about when you first bought this and why you bought this. Why this hardware synth, man?
Okay, well, first of all, look at it. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
These walnut wood cheeks have inspired how we furnished our home.
Yeah, right.
No, I got it for my birthday a few years ago. I think it was 2021, and I don't even remember how old I was in 2021.
Yeah.
COVID's dog years, I just saw it on Facebook Marketplace, and it's always been kind of a bucket list synth for me.
Right.
I love it because the Prophet 5, which is the classic one that Dave Smith came out with in the 70s, has always been my favorite of all time synths.
Okay.
And this pretty much does everything that does, but with some modern touches.
Nice.
It's this really great combination of being very simple, stripped down. The only menu are these 3 numbers here.
That's cool.
And you don't really need to mess with those. Everything you can do pretty much is here. And so it's very simple, but at the same time capable of some real depth.
Right.
It just has some nice quality of life features.
And it's only 4 octaves.
Yeah, 49 keys. Obviously you can octave shift it. But
Right.
I just love it because it just has a great like foundational sound, and it's a great way of showing how like simple sounds can be really meaningful.
Absolutely.
Or it's also a great way of showing, in my opinion, about how you can extract a lot of like depth and character out of a simple patch.
I love it, man.
I mean, you've got one LFO, and like this may be a little techie, but like this is a polyphonic synth. Like typically, if you just see one LFO on a poly synth, like in this case with 6 voices, this is actually 6 LFOs. This is only one LFO for all 6 voices.
Wow.
So it's dead simple.
Man, that's
But
amazing.
then it has this polymod section that Dave Smith invented. It was the same with the Prophet 5, and he kind of invented this to get around that, to give you some more options.
Yeah.
And honestly, like over the years, just exploring what this can do has taught me so much about like how to program synths and how to approach other synths, and just in general, even like when I'm using Omnisphere and stuff, like I'm pulling from experience that I have mainly with this synth.
Yeah.
It's just it's really critical to like my journey, and
Sure.
and also it just looks sick.
It's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's biblical. I mean, it's a prophet.
I know.
Prophet 6.
I know. They should have called it like the Elijah 6 or something like
Right,
that.
right. Or maybe 7, you know, because 6 is
Yeah.
not quite.
Well, as long as you don't have 3 of these back to back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's so cool. But we do see the Prophet 6 on many stages across really the world, but America specifically. There are a lot of modern churches that will have a Prophet 6 up there. You'll see tons of them. Of course, there's a lot of big labels that the Keys guys, you'll have the Nord stage up there, you'll have the Prophet 6, you'll have the Hammond B3 up there, or C3 A100. And I mean, this is like a staple. If someone's going to use a hardware synth in a worship set, I feel like grabbing the Prophet 6 is going to be the one.
Yeah. Like the thing is, like plugins are so accessible these days.
Right.
I'm not going to be the analog purist. Like I use plugins every single day. I am simply making the case that if you're going to have a hardware synth, something like this is the one to have, because there's really no point in owning hardware unless it's something that you can really like fall in love with and know all the nooks and crannies and treat it like an instrument. Like it has to feel like a real instrument to be worth it, because these are not cheap, obviously.
Come on. Right.
And yeah, you are right. It is a staple. Like I feel like if you have like a Prophet 6 or even the Rev 2 and like a Juno 106 and maybe a Mini Moog,
right,
or a SIP 37 or something, you've kind of got the full gambit of like what is the analog synth sound.
Sure.
Obviously there's digital synths and all this, but in terms of like that classic retro vibe, like that's like the Trinity.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I wish Ryan Pruitt was over here hanging out with us, because he is the retro synth guy.
Let's go.
Over there in Smyrna. He loves the Prophet as well.
And they've reissued the Prophet 5 now.
Okay.
Which is hilarious because it has almost as many knobs as this, but it's literally like twice as big.
Wow, man.
And so all the knobs are like that big around.
Gosh.
It's hilarious, but that's
better to see it with.
It's a very cool synth. But yeah, this is nice and compact. It kind of gets that sort of Prophet 5 weight to an extent, but it's way more compact than a full-size Prophet 5. And you can fit in a road case. It goes up above, as your aux keys. It's just a good size for me.
I love it, dude. Well, I want to hear you play it, man. Take us through, man. Take us through your journey.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily want this to be a Prophet 6 tutorial, because I feel like that'd be a little niche.
Yes, there's already a few of those out. Maybe we'll link
exactly. And Prophet, Sequential's not paying me anything. So.
Right. Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored. But that being said, what I would love to do is I would kind of love to like share a few thoughts and things that I think about that no matter what synth you're using might help you to just improve your own patches a little bit, give them a little more depth, or achieve a little bit more of what you're needing them to do. Or even if you're going through like all the thousands of presets in Omnisphere, like if you find something that's like, oh, well, that's 60% of the way there, but it doesn't quite fit what I need it to be, like how can I change it? Some things to reach for.
That's good.
That being said, like I'm going to be, all over these knobs today.
Come on.
And I really just want to reiterate something I believe I said last time I was here, which is like whatever gear you have, like just know it.
That's good.
Like I'm going to talk about unison and envelopes and modulation and it's going to look different for you if you don't have a Prophet 6.
Totally.
But I just kind of want to show you like what's possible.
Come on, man.
You know? So the first thing, it's a simple thing if you make a lot of patches, but the first thing I want to talk about is like unison and stereo spread positioning. Because I feel like a lot of times when I'm like watching concerts or when I'm in sessions or whatever, like I hear the keyboardists and even bass players that are doing key bass play these patches that they clearly know what they're talking about. Like they know what the oscillators do. They know how to dial in a filter envelope. Like they're not noobs, you know? But at the same time, the patch just lacks a certain something. I feel like a lot of times, especially in a live situation, a lot more depth can be achieved by utilizing unison. Which, if you don't know what unison is, it's essentially taking a sound and copying it and stacking it and then just changing it a little bit to where like the way they rub together creates the depth.
Yeah,
and that's really cool because you can have a really simple patch that accomplishes a lot.
Right.
Which is good because it's easy to make, and not every patch needs to have all this movement in it.
Yes.
You know, that's gonna get lost. So I'd like to demonstrate that with this patch. This is like my go-to live lead patch. I actually get asked about this all the time, and I'm happy to share the recipe because it's such a simple patch. And I think like I make this on every board that I use, even if I'm backlining something on a fly date or whatever. I always make this because it's so simple. Any 2-oscillator synth can do it.
Come on.
And it's really more contingent on the sound of the specific synth.
Okay.
So, but anyways, this is the sound. Okay.
Yes.
It's fun. It cuts through a mix. It's got some booty.
Dude.
But really all it is, I'm going to turn off the effects. It's a saw wave and a square wave split by an octave. So I'm going to turn off the unison and everything. It's just this. And some noise to give it some
grit,
sizzle, some some fizzle.
Fizzle.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But yeah, at its core it's a saw wave and a square wave, an octave down.
I love that.
A little bit of detune, but there's no pulse width modulation or anything. It's just static. But because it's an analog synth, there's a little bit of like pulsing in there.
Yes.
And if I play this, since we're talking about unison, I'm going to play the same thing but without any unison. So this is just one layer of the sound. It still has a thing, but it's nothing compared to this. Especially with the spread.
Ooh.
And you can see
So
like
good,
it's such a simple patch.
Yeah.
But all the character is coming from like those stacked voices interacting with each other.
Absolutely.
And so basically whenever you have unison, like pretty much in any soft synth or anything that has unison, you're going to have two controls more or less, that it's like how much detune is it and how spread is it, right? So on the Prophet, it's this slop knob, that's the detune. Okay.
Got you.
And then this other knob here, the pan spread, that's kind of like spreading them out in the stereo space. So if I turn this down, I have to keep turning the effects off every time I reload the patch.
Okay.
But I've got the patch reloaded. I'm going to turn the pan down. You hear it's fat, but it's mono. And then, which, by the way, you're going to want to have headphones to hear this. But
absolutely. Yes, sir.
It's got
big.
It's big.
It's big.
But it's still a simple patch.
Absolutely.
You know? And honestly, like the fact that it's simple, the fact that there's not a ton of modulation is what makes it cut through a mix.
I love it.
And a good rule of thumb, I feel like, is if you want something to kind of sit in the background, make it move, give it a lot of character. If you want it to cut through, make it a simple patch. That's why, like in R&B, you've got those like the polysine stuff.
Yeah,
it's a sine wave. It's like the purest, purest waveform. But you'll notice you can always hear that when it's happening.
Right.
And it's because like the really pure stuff cuts through more.
Oh, absolutely.
So this lets you have a more pure sound, but still give it some beef.
I love that.
Talk about this for a very quick second, not to be on a huge discussion, but the mono versus stereo, you're playing with A-list artists right now, and you have been for a few years, but maybe there's people that are playing for lesser known bands or worship artists are just at their church and their whole system is not stereo. Sometimes, your ears are stereo, the house is mono in a lot of instances. What's your opinion on mono versus stereo? Obviously, you need to hear stereo to hear what we're doing, but do you have any feelings about how the front of house might have to translate that to some to mono?
If you're in a general rule of thumb, I always like to prepare for whatever the front of house is. So if it's a mono system, and I do this on the road too with like if we're doing a show like with Jordan, for instance, where maybe for this particular show we're flying out to like maybe it's a church show and we're using their PA and they have a mono system, I'm like resetting everything to where I'm not squashing left and right together because that creates phase issues.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with mono, like
good. I want people to hear that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, like if I turn this down, this is just the pan spread. This is the same patch. Turn the effects off. That's still dope.
It's still great, yeah. Yeah, totally.
And there's nothing wrong with mono. In fact, like a lot of times, like on big, even like arena tours, with guitarists, for instance, like a lot of guitarist rigs are like mono, which, being in the worship church world, that might sound crazy. But the reality is that if you have something that's mono, it allows whoever's mixing it to focus where it is in the mix. And if you have especially if you have say you only have so many lines and you're forced to run a synth mono and it's going into a stereo system, for instance, that's okay because it just means that it's going to occupy a very specific place in the mix. I don't get discouraged by that.
That's good. Okay, good.
Obviously, though, like if given the option, like stereo is more fun.
Right.
And it's more satisfying because most of us have two ears.
Right.
Not all, I'm sure some people have one ear.
Right.
But I don't know any of them. But yeah, so Unison is a great way to just add width and depth.
Absolutely.
And it's similar to just slapping a chorus on something.
Right.
We talked about the Juno a second ago. Juno is like pretty ubiquitous, And the thing about the Juno is that if you turn that chorus off, it kind of sounds like wimpy, right?
Yeah.
That's an effect. In my opinion, just my humble opinion, using Unison is a way to add width and depth as more part of the core sound. It doesn't sound as much like an effect.
Okay.
You know, and I can actually show you. So this is the same patch. I've got Ableton pulled up here, and I've just got a couple plugins. I've got the Arturia Juno chorus. I think I got this for free. I think this is a free plugin.
Okay,
but
sweet.
if you don't have this and you want it and you look up and it's not free, the Tau chorus one is also free.
Okay, awesome.
TAL.
Take that tip.
Yeah. But anyways,
we're not showing your screen because it's not really. There's nothing to really show in Ableton besides just a little bit of session and he's telling you all the plugins. So we're not going to be showing Ableton on the screen today. You're not missing out on much. You mainly want to see the Prophet here. That's what you want to see.
But what I want to show here is the difference between Unison and chorus.
Okay.
So this is the Unison patch. I gotta keep turning these effects off, but dry, no effects, just the Unison. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the Unison off and turn the Juno chorus on. You hear that? It adds some width. It adds some fuzziness. It's nice.
Totally.
But you hear how this is just a different effect.
Totally.
See what I'm saying?
Cuts, man.
Yeah.
Just cuts.
It gives you some control about like how phasey do you want the signal to be.
Right.
And also the other thing to note is depending on the synth, there's different kinds of Unison. The traditional kind is just like detuning voices. And a lot of times that sound is going to get you closer to like what you might consider like a supersaw. If you're a keys player, you've probably heard or used that term before. What's really cool about this Prophet is you'll notice this isn't called Detune, is called slop, which is a great word. But what it does is in addition to detuning the voices, it's also it's adding some randomness in the filter settings and the envelope settings for each voice that I'm stacking.
Oh, wow.
And essentially what that does, it creates the sound of a lot of like old synths that are like sort of need to be calibrated.
Right.
They need to go to the shop.
Yeah.
It kind of stacks them together. And so you have not just irregularities in the tuning, but like the filter knob, if you can imagine like this panel, but like stacked 6 times.
Right.
Because that's essentially what we're doing with Unison. Imagine like the filter is in a slightly different position. These knobs are in just a very slightly different position. The resonance is in a slightly different position.
Yeah.
Maybe the mix, the volumes, and the tuning is all in a slightly different position. And all that creates not just like different tuning, but it really lets you hear each individual voice in the stereo spectrum, because they kind of have more of their own imprint. It's kind of like whenever guitarists, like worship guitarists, have 2 different amps stereo, because it's like they're sending the same signal out, and the amps are probably both set clean-ish, but because they're different amps, like there's just a little something different, and that's what creates that character.
Yeah,
we can kind of do that here with Unison.
Is the worship guitarists, are they mainly the ones that do that, or?
In terms of like stereo amps,
yeah.
I feel like any genre that's like more ambient is probably, like maybe like shoegaze or like,
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, cool, man. I'm just curious about that.
I'm only barely a guitarist. On the Worship Guitar podcast.
Yeah, the Worship Guitar podcast. That's right.
It's just in general, like to kind of sum that up, it lets you take a simple patch and add more character to it, more weight to it. Or, vice versa. Sometimes you might be pulling up a patch like on Omnisphere and it's just way too big. Well, go into that Unison section and tweak it. Okay. Sometimes it's not even just more is more. Sometimes you need less, but still a little bit. And I'll demonstrate that. Like, so here's a bass patch, and I'm going to use this bass patch later on. Right. Now, I could just go all 6 voices of Unison. That's massively fat, right?
Yes.
But if you're just holding the part down, sometimes you don't need all that, Maybe you just need 2 notes. And all this is doing, you see this as 2. This is like basically a 1 extra voice of Unison. So I'm panning it here. So stereo bass, I've got 1 version of this on the left, 1 version of this on the right, with those little discrepancies that we talked about. Right?
Yes.
It's still, that adds a lot of weight. It adds some width, but you're not taking up so much space in the mix.
Absolutely.
So there's levels to this is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
A little bit can go a long way depending on the patch.
Yes, sir.
And it's just a good alternative to just throwing a chorus on there or bathing it in reverb to get width, because sometimes you don't need that. Like, that's not going to help you cut through a mix.
Right.
And if you're playing a part or a solo or something, I know we don't do a lot of synth solos in worship music, but we do, on some of the places that I play. Or if you're just playing a part, like sometimes it doesn't need to be like super washed out, but you still want it to be wide. This is something that you can try.
It's amazing.
So, yeah, Unison.
That's incredible. Are you playing? So you do a few things with Travis Dykes, don't you? A few roadshows or
we cross paths
every now and then.
He's a good friend. We've actually only ever gotten to play together one time.
Okay, because he's been on the podcast and we talked about bass.
I just saw him at the Kickoff cruise.
Okay, very nice.
So we got to hang out. What's up, Travis?
What's up, Travis? That's great, man. Can you play us your favorite synth solo that you've played on the road before?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I truly improvise.
You just improvise everything. That's good.
Well, I mean, not everything, but when it comes to solo, and I think I mentioned this last time, but I have a background in jazz.
Right.
And so I kind of came up improvising solos.
Yes.
I don't really rehearse solos. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but typically I don't. I just kind of play. I like to
fill it.
Yeah, with arranging, it's this combination of having something that's reproducible, but still leaving room for musicians to do their thing.
Totally.
But a lot of time, I'll play a part. For instance, for Jordan, he has a song called "Glorify."
Okay.
And in the second verse, we kind of do this big breakdown where I'm going something like that. And it's just great because, again, it's a simple patch, cuts through, but it's got weight, and I'm kind of doubling the bass guitar as well. So
I love it.
It's just kind of a cool layering thing.
That's incredible. Are you sending 4 channels out as 2 from your main keyboard and 2 from this guy, or?
So I've been doing that because I've started playing guitar with Jordan some.
Right.
But before I was playing guitar, I was actually sending him 6 lines.
Oh, okay.
So I would do like pianos, pads, and then like pad/organ, and then like aux.
Okay.
Which the aux would be this, which is mostly just like effects or bells or whatever.
Very cool, man. Well, show us some more.
Okay. Trying to not get too bogged down on like one thing.
Right.
The next thing I want to talk about is envelopes. Which that's what these things are, the things that say envelopes. ADSR, you might have heard them called. I'm sure if you're a keys player listening to this, you've probably run into this at some point, and you may be like, duh. But still, I want to show how important envelopes are, because I really do feel like they're the one control that really defines what type of sound something is. Mm-hmm. You know, in my opinion, the envelope settings are what separate like a Pluck from a pad or whatever.
Right.
You know?
Right.
They're also one of the best ways to, if you're like, again, scrolling through presets, trying to find something that you like. If you find something that like sonically is cool, but maybe it just takes too long to arrive, you can tweak it. Like Omnisphere has all these. It's funny, I have a prop here. We keep talking about Omnisphere,
right.
But in this, for the sake of like saying something that like we can all kind of relate to, Omnisphere has thousands of presets that have all these. I call them like showroom presets. Like they're to sell copies of Omnisphere, but they're way too big to actually use in a track, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's because the effects are way too much, or like they just have too much movement or whatever. And like I've had several instances where like I'll pull up a sound, I'm like, oh, this is cool, but it takes like 5 years to arrive. And so I'll just can open up the envelopes and just turn the attack down and make it quicker.
Okay.
Or you can turn a pad into like just a poly sound, right?
Right.
Understanding how envelopes work and all the different ways you can use them is really valuable. So in terms of like an analog synth, I just want to demonstrate a couple things.
Come on, man.
So I'm going to go back to this bass sound. I have a few presets in here that are like my starting points.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So this is my bass starting point, like if I'm playing key bass on a gig or something, or tracking it. So that's a very like unoffensive bass. You know, it's got the low end. It's very playable. I've got a little bit of glide, you know, but it's not blowing anyone away. And usually what happens is if I pull this patch up, especially in a live setting, I'm like, this needs more, like it needs to jump out of the mix. And generally there's 2 ways to do that. You can turn the cutoff up or the filter up, or you can turn the envelope up, you know. So I'll show you, like if I just turn the filter up, let me see where this was set originally, right there, more or less. I could just turn the filter up, right? And now it's brighter, but it doesn't really have any contour to it, right? So what I might actually do is I'm going to initialize this and put the filter back to where it was. I might actually adjust this knob, envelope amount. Essentially what that's doing is it's telling the synth how much these controls, this attack, decay, sustain, and release, is going to affect the filter.
Okay.
And I can go in either direction. But I might just turn this knob up a little bit. Now you've got this kind of like thing, this attack going.
Right.
And it kind of might feel more like a bass player picking, you know?
Yeah.
And that's great for like playing more percussive stuff. You know?
Yes.
If I just do that, you're not hearing any of that detail.
Right.
I might even, now that I'm actually kind of playing with the filter, I might turn this resonance up so you hear the filter a little bit more. Right?
Oh, come on now.
I'm going to, just because I want to, I'm going to add some unison because
Go for it.
Let's do 3. 3 is a good number. Add some pan. What if, like, yeah, that's kind of fun, right?
Yeah, man.
What if, like, you want it to be more like, kind of like wub-ish, you know? Exactly.
Some
like
Skrillex up in here.
Well, yeah, I was still kind of thinking more in like the funk kind of
Okay, good. Let's stay there.
But like, We've been messing with this decay knob. That's how I got that. But I can also mess with this attack. Check this out. Whoa, right?
Yeah.
And I actually love doing that on bass because if I'm playing something like what I was playing a second ago that has a lot of ghost notes, the short notes are noticeably darker than the longer notes.
Oh, that's good.
So
good.
Before I had this, and I'm kind of jumping ahead of the gun, but I want to add some distortion. So that's creating a character. You could, it's the sound that kind of goes like,
Yeah.
You really couldn't do that before.
Right.
It was just this kind of dull, just sort of basic sound.
Yeah.
And I love having these recipes because, depending on like, if I'm playing, especially if I'm playing like a more of a jam setting, like I can tweak it in real time and I know exactly where I'm going.
Absolutely.
But also it's just like, that's all the same patch and I've got like 3 wildly different type of bass sounds.
Sure.
So yeah, that's envelopes.
So good.
If I go just to show you, I want to show you a couple other things really quick, just to show you like how important they are for defining the sound. I've got an init patch here. This is a single saw wave. Right? Literally, if I just turn these 2 knobs, turn attack up and turn release up, it's a pad. Filter it down. Add the second oscillator and detune it a little bit. That's a pad.
Right.
And that's a pretty solid pad, honestly. But check it out. I'm going to keep that the same, and I'm just going to add a little envelope filter, and I'm going to tweak this, and I'm going to make this a pluck.
Okay.
Just like that. Okay? Check this out. So we kind of initialized that. Right? That's a pluck.
Yeah.
What if I want to make it like a brass sound, A little less, a little more attack. You can really accentuate that. Now it's brass.
Right.
And all I've really tweaked are the envelope settings and how the filter is like interacting with the with the envelope.
So much you could do here, man.
I know.
Manipulate.
I want to show one more thing just because it's like a party trick.
Yeah, let's see it.
This is slightly more advanced, but
Okay.
I want to show the people how to make an 808.
Oh, come on.
Is that okay?
It's for like the New Year's Eve services,
Basically, yeah, for that one time a year that you need the 808. If you want to do it via analog, this is how you do it, okay?
All right, man.
So this is my init patch again, which, by the way, if you have a Prophet 6, just hit preset and write at the same time. That just zeroes everything out.
Got you.
Okay, so the first thing you need is a saw wave. So I'll just take this, turn it into a saw. Okay, now it's got to kind of feel like a kick, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. We all know, think like Daft Punk
Yeah.
or whatever. So what we've been doing is we've been using this filter envelope to adjust the filter. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to reroute this and adjust pitch with it.
Okay.
And this is something that you can do on most synths in some way or another. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the polymod section, and if your synth doesn't have this, don't worry. It's kind of a Prophet specific thing, but usually you can access this elsewhere. But if you're an Omnisphere, it's just drag and drop. Drag one of the envelopes to the oscillator pitch.
There you go.
But anyways, so I'm going to select frequency 1 because that's all we're hearing is the
Drag and drop
oscillator.
isn't as fun as all this.
No, it's really not. And then I'm going to dial in filter envelope here. Check this out. You don't hear anything yet, but if I dial in some decay, kind of sounds like Pac-Man, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It needs to go a lot faster. Okay, that's already kind of sounding 808-ish, right?
Right.
Then I'm going to add the sub-octave, and I'm going to turn the filter down. Pretty close. And then we're just going to use the same filter envelope that I modulated the pitch with, and which, if I can show this visually, essentially all I did was make this filter turn this knob for me.
Got you.
It's like every time I hit a note, it's going like bion, 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 essentially.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'm just going to add some of that filter envelope back in to where, in addition to tweaking the pitch, it's also going to tweak the filter. Do you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
And then maybe add some noise in just to where when the filter's open, some of that noise pops through, kind of sound more like a beater hitting a drum head.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, the PA still la resistance would be distortion. And there you go.
Man.
Again, that is essentially, we're using one oscillator, and that's just using this envelope to tweak
cool.
pitch and filter.
It's awesome.
So it's not just a filter and amplifier thing. It can literally do anything.
Right.
Some synths can tweak like effects. You can make it to where, like, if you're playing a pad, you hold a chord down and maybe that's bringing a reverb up or something. Like if you have a synth that can do that, which a lot of synths these days can, especially plugins, the sky's really the limit.
Totally, man. That's a good tip right there.
Yeah. So yeah, envelopes. I kind of want to talk about pads.
Pads, let's do it.
This is the Worship Keys podcast.
That's right.
We got to talk
not
about pads.
Pads, yeah.
If you are a keys player, you probably know how to make a basic pad. But in case you don't, pretty much any synth that you go up to, if it's a 2 oscillator synth, then it's very easy. I'm just going to show you. Here's my init patch again. Oh. Oh yeah, I was like, why does it sound weird? It's because it's an octave down. Okay, this is a single saw wave. All you got to do, bring in the second oscillator. And if you want, that beating, that detuning, by the way, is just because this is analog.
Okay.
I didn't dial that in. If you do this on a digital synth, it'll probably sound like very perfect,
Right.
But you might even bring in a little bit extra. A little bit of detune, right?
Yeah.
Filter it down. I think I did this earlier, but literally, like, if I just put that Juno chorus on. That's a perfectly suitable reverb that will probably get someone saved.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, there's depending on what you need your pad to do, so much you can go so much deeper. Okay?
Absolutely.
And I don't want to get into everything you can do, but the main thing I want to talk about is just adding texture. Okay. If this is just a background pad, if you're laying it with piano, you probably don't want to do this. But like, I mainly do this a lot when I'm producing, just to have something in the background, like the ear candy or just the interest,
Totally.
And one way that I like to do that a lot on the Prophet is with this polymod section. Poly, short for polyphonic. Essentially, it lets you modulate things.
I thought it was short for Polynesian sauce.
Well, I don't think this is built in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
But if you don't have a polymod section, first of all, if you want a polymod section, you got to have a Prophet or a Prophet plugin or something. But like most 2 oscillator synths, like, so think like Jupiters, Moogs, Oberheims, and like plugins or other hardware synths that are like related to those will have some manner of like cross modulation is what it's called. It's a type of frequency modulation. And a lot of times when people turn that cross mod knob or FM knob, it just gets way crazy.
Right.
I don't know, you might be familiar with that sound, but if you use it judiciously, it can just be very subtle and you can just have some lovely textures in there.
That's good.
Okay. So,
and since you said Moog, we can tell you're a professional.
Oh yeah.
Instead of saying Moog.
Moog.
So thank you.
That's just how it's spelled. No, it's actually spelled like Moog in it. But
Bob Moog.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it is Moog.
It is Moog.
There's really no argument about it. It's Moog. So I've just turned off the effects. We've got this pad that we made. What I'm going to do, I'm going to demonstrate it first, and I'll kind of like break it down. But I'm going to use this polymod, and I'm going to use oscillator 2 to modulate the filter frequency. So check this out. kind of dustiness.
Yeah.
You can go the other way too. I typically don't do that. I like this, especially if you filter it down. And if I spread this out, you hear how like it's like everything's kind of happening in its own space.
Yes.
So essentially what's happening here is it's called frequency modulation or audio rate modulation. Kind of hard to explain if you don't know this already, but like an LFO, which is what you use to like do vibrato or whatever, it's just another oscillator just like these, but it's moving a lot slower.
Got you.
Right?
Right.
I can actually demonstrate that with, I'm going to go back to this init patch.
Teach us your ways.
So we're just hearing oscillator 2 right now, but I can, if I hit low frequency, do you hear how it's that ticking?
Yeah, I thought we were buffering in Logic for a second.
That's the oscillator's moving so slow that it's cycling.
Oh, wow.
And so that's actually moving more in the rate that a typical LFO would.
Gotcha.
So like I can actually demonstrate that if I mute that, you're not hearing it anymore. But I can use that for just like vibrato on oscillator 1. So I've got frequency 1. Here, it's just a vibrato oscillator now.
There you go.
But what's really cool about that is like, okay, well, that's way more complicated than just using like the vibrato LFO.
Yeah.
But what's cool about that is you can play this oscillator.
Totally.
And you can actually play it like at really fast, like where it's so fast you actually hear a pitch.
Oh, wow.
You know? So what I'm doing here is for this patch, you're hearing both oscillators, and this oscillator 2 is spinning really, really fast. Okay? And I'm using that to make this cutoff knob move really, really fast. Like
Gotcha.
extremely fast. You know, and that kind of creates extra harmonics. Like I can go crazy. Like check. Sorry if I. Now you're not hearing this oscillator, you're just hearing its effect on the filter. Like, that's not really a usable sound.
Houston, we have a problem.
Exactly. But if you just dial in a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And the reason that sounds cool is it's being played polyphonically.
Right.
So the way I just demonstrated that, like, when it's very low, it's moving slower. When it's very high, it's moving faster, right? If I actually play this, check this out. I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit. Right, but then if I do this, actually, I'm just going to do one oscillator so you don't hear the beating. You can kind of hear that pulse.
Yeah.
Now if I go up an octave, it's going to be faster. Go up another octave. Right?
Totally, right.
Okay, so I'm going to turn that back down, and if I play a chord, then you're hearing all those notes beating at different rates. And you can do it with
interesting,
you can do it with the filter. You can also do it with pitch. Check this out.
That's crazy.
So that's audio rate modulation. A lot of synths can do it. Some synths can do it better than others. The Prophet can do it polyphonically, which is one of like that for me. That is the Prophet sound.
That is it.
That's one way to add texture. Is just cross mod. And if you don't have cross mod, like really any kind of like weird glitchy thing is great. Just try stuff. I think if I can leave you guys with anything, it's just don't be afraid to try stuff.
Good.
You know, if you're a guitar player getting into keys and you have a pedal board, run it through your pedal board.
Come on.
Especially if you have like some weird like Chase Bliss something or another, like those weird esoteric effects.
Yeah.
Or if you have like a granular whatever, or you know, just some kind of lo-fi plugins. Just everything should have some kind of texture, even if it's something as simple as just like running it through like a sort of tape emulation to give it some compression.
Okay.
Like it just everything needs to feel like it's alive. even
good.
if it's just very subtle. Because a lot of times it's more felt than heard.
Right. If you were to get one pedal as a keys player, just one pedal,
Yeah.
what one pedal would you get?
Well, I would probably go for like a multi-effects pedal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get the best of both worlds. Okay.
I mean, I have a Big Sky that I've had for a long time.
I know that's pretty popular.
Yeah. I also have a Deco, Strymon Deco, and I use them for different things. But the Big Sky is obviously a reverb pedal, but it lets you use reverb very creatively. It doesn't just make it, you don't just have to have everything washed out. You can just, it's got this chorale setting, which is really cool. The magneto setting is cool on it. The Deco is cool because it's got that saturation side, so you can really just like fry stuff.
Okay.
That's the best way I can describe it. It just sounds like you fried it with no oil. It's just burnt. You know?
Cool.
And then it's got the double tracking side, which lets you do chorus, phasing, slapback, delay, all kinds of stuff.
That's awesome.
And you could play with the phase. So
very cool.
I like either of those pedals. I use them for guitar as well. I have them on my pedal board.
Very nice.
And speaking of effects, I kind of want to take this one step further.
Okay.
I have a patch here I want to show, kind of demonstrating this whole filter FM thing that I just did.
All right.
One thing I want you to notice about this patch is that, to my ears at least, it has so much depth and like just space.
Yeah.
But it's dry as a bone. There's no effects.
Okay.
It is just pure profit. Okay, so check this out. Like, obviously, you wouldn't want to layer that with the piano.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But
right.
in
That's cool, man.
in a track, you know?
That's
and the thing
neat.
is, like, if you add effects to it, it just gets kind of better. So I'm going to put that chorus and reverb back on it. Check this out. I'm going to turn up the reverb a little bit.
You're using Valhalla Vintage Verb.
Yeah, which, by the way, Valhalla Vintage, the default preset is the best preset.
Is it okay? That's good.
So
They
just
knew what they were doing.
pull it up and adjust the mix knob. Right? Isn't that cool?
Dude, that is cool.
And this is just a 2 oscillator synth.
I love that.
You know, you can take this one step further. This is something, again, just I'm thinking about how do you add texture?
Right.
Something I've started doing since I kind of got into guitar,
Yeah.
that a lot of guitarists do, is they will, run their time-based effects, delay and reverb and stuff, into either the front of an amp that's pushed or into, in some cases, like a dirt box, like a distortion or overdrive or something.
Okay.
And I've started doing that with my synths.
Okay.
So if you guys have Ableton, I don't know if this is on Suite or not, but it's a stock device in Ableton called Pedal.
Okay.
I have it on the fuzz setting.
Very nice.
And I just kind of got it on a low gain setting. But literally, I've got this after the reverb. Like, you wouldn't think, oh, let's run a fuzz pedal after reverb.
Right.
But it literally takes it from like a nice sound to literally just like, in my opinion, something that sounds like Blade Runner or like very
nice.
soundtrack. So
Yeah.
I'll play it with the reverb and then I'll turn on the fuzz for you. Okay, now check this out.
The movie score.
Yeah, and
Hans Zimmer.
exactly, and you're feeding that distortion
Yeah.
with the reverb, but also with like all the interesting things that are happening in the stereo field, which kind of goes back to the Unison thing. Like to get the sound, I've got this polymod thing so that each voice sounds different, and then I'm spreading it around,
Oh, wow.
feeding a stereo reverb, so it's kind of accentuating that, and then that's being
incredible.
compressed and crushed and like fried by this fuzz pedal.
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
it's treating effects like part of the sound
That's
instead
good.
of just like a tacked on thing.
Right. That's good.
Yeah, and
That's really good.
you'll find the things that you like to do. Again, just get weird. Just
Get weird.
Just try stuff.
Let's get
you know
weird.
what I'm saying?
Totally. And along those lines too, Marcus, I love how that sounds. It's really cool to experiment. Maybe you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, but if you're watching on YouTube right now and you do a lot of synth stuff, especially producing and do a lot of in-the-box things in your DAWs, in the comment section, just let us know, are you using Ableton? Do you use the Fuzz? Do you use Logic? There's like a pedal board that you can build in Logic. It literally looks like a pedal board, and you drag in different pedals.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's pretty cool. If you use that, let us know. Do you use Logic? Use Ableton? Is there anything stock that in Pro Tools that's like this? I'm sure there is.
I think they have like the Air plugins.
Okay. Oh yeah, the Air plugin. But they're probably not to the level that Ableton and stock or Logic stocks
It's
are.
all subjective.
Subjective. It's all subjective.
But I mean, I know a lot of people that use those Air plugins, and I think they sound pretty good.
Okay.
I'm an Ableton guy, like,
Right.
to my core. So
To the core.
I want to show you, before we move on from this
Yeah.
topic, I want to show one more patch, and this is kind of like combining everything we've talked about up to this point.
Okay, come on now.
Okay,
Show us.
So this is a patch I actually made for an artist named Sarah Reeves.
Okay, yeah.
That I was playing some shows with her a few years ago, and this was like something that I wanted to throw in on one of her songs. But it kind of, for me, it sounds like a arcade machine from hell, you know. So
Yeah.
there's a lot going on here. Right? It's kind of got an 808 quality, but you can play it up
This is
high.
how we do.
Yeah, exactly. Play it at low, it kind of sounds like a nasty 808. Up high, it's like... It's a very playable sound.
Absolutely.
But if I turn off the effects, which these are just the built-in Prophet effects here. So what I've done here is I've turned off the Unison, I've turned off the effects, and I've turned off the extra little texture stuff. And this is what we're left with. Kind of lame.
Yeah, very lame.
But if I bring this back, what was it on? That's just the extra dirt.
And you're so quick with these features.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta learn your gear.
Gotta know your gear. Yeah.
But I'm gonna add these back in. So this is the frequency modulation. That's that 808 thing, the pyong, pyong, pyong.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna add that dusty quality of the filter FM. Yeah.
Right.
And now we're gonna add the Unison. This is all 6 voices, everything that she can give. I'm gonna paint them.
Dude,
And then finally, I just got some hall verb.
sounds so good.
Which, if you guys have a Prophet
great,
6,
man.
I want to show you something. This is like an Easter egg. But if you go to the spring reverb in here is pretty good.
Happy Easter, y'all.
What?
I said happy Easter, y'all. Easter's coming up. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. So, and the distortion as well. But I've got a spring here. I don't know. This is kind of a weird thing that they did. But obviously, this is a digital effect.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, they put an accelerometer in here. So you can do that.
What?
I don't know, man.
Dude, do that again.
It's not yeah, you gotta smack it. Don't be afraid. There you go. It's
Bro, what?
And it's not like there's a real spring in there. It's just like a fun thing they did.
That is fun.
But spring reverb is great on synths. By the way.
Imagine like doing that at church. You're just playing and you're just like,
Like just this juicy pad. Anyways, so yeah, that sound it's one of the favorites that I've made recently.
I ran out of that grave. Anyway.
Yeah, and it's just kind of combining everything, and you just saw like I'll let you if you want to hear, you can rewind it. Just how simple that patch
Rewind
is.
it. What does that even mean, bro?
Like bring it, like, you know, be kind, rewind.
Be kind, rewind.
I'm old, but yeah,
I'm just kidding.
it just shows like this sound. All the character is in the space and the extra texture and the effects.
Yeah. Right. No, yeah. That's
So
that's it.
It's just these are the tools at my disposal to add texture.
Love
I
it.
really encourage you guys to explore the tools at your disposal.
That is great, man.
Yeah.
Love this.
Yeah. And by the way, a lot of you guys have the Arturia stuff.
Right.
The Arturia
yeah.
Prophet plugin has this.
Oh, that's sick.
So if you want to explore Polymod, I highly recommend it.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I got one more synth tip.
Come on.
All right. This is kind of a bonus thing.
Bonus.
But
bonus round.
In addition to playing worship music in church and touring, I do a lot of session work too, and I do a lot of writing and producing.
Very nice.
Of all different genres. And I don't remember the last time I went to like a recording session, even for like country or anything, where I didn't have this with me. Because it's such a great writing tool, even for like any kind of contemporary genre that you might want a synth. And the reason why is because it has a sequencer. I feel like a lot of people sleep on the sequencer, especially live players. A lot of people might think that a sequencer is just for people that don't really play, but it's a great idea for inspiration. Honestly, like I play all kinds of genres of music. I'll just demonstrate. So I've got my init patch here. Just that saw wave again, right? And I can literally, this is a polyphonic sequencer, so I can play chords. I can literally just hit this record button, and it's going to record each thing I play as a step. And I can go up to, I don't remember if it's 32 or 64 steps, but I'm just going to play something. I'll just play this. See here. And then I can... That's a cool kind of a Radiohead progression.
Right.
And then I can literally... I played that at a time. But if I hit play...
Oh, that's cool.
Which, that's a little aggressive, But I'm going to slow this down to eighth notes. Maybe I'll slow the tempo down to 120 right now. And now it's playing itself, and I can tweak the patch.
That's cool.
So throw in some of this polymod. And then like if I'm in the studio, I can reach over and I can be like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I can just jam.
Absolutely.
And I've started so many tracks that way.
That's fun.
And you can just kind of like, you can just kind of
like a DJ over here,
go crazy, exactly. Which I'm watching. I'm finally finishing Stranger Things.
Oh, dude, yes, bro.
But you can.
We've mentioned Stranger Things a few times here on the pod, and some people are just not fans.
Well, you could throw some Unison. Stop this for a second.
Yeah, bro.
It's just like
that's it.
Endless inspiration. I've got some patches here like that I have specifically for that purpose.
Right.
Like this patch here. I'll use that a lot of times for a sequence. I've probably got one programmed actually. Like that's I think I'm an E flat.
That's nice.
Yeah, but you can just reach around and you can just kind of go all day. You can track that. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll have that going, then I'll just
Yeah, bro. Ooh,
so yeah, sequencers. A lot of plugins have them. I know Omnisphere has it. And so yeah, if you're just jamming, you're looking for an idea, or if you want to get really fancy with it and you've got all your stuff synced up with MIDI, and it's like all tempo synced, whatever, maybe you can find a live application for that.
It's incredible.
Same thing with ARPs, very similar, but arpeggiators are a little more manual.
Absolutely.
But that's just another way that I like to use this as a writing tool, as a production tool.
That's incredible.
And don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on it, man. I love it. Well, thank you for sharing all this stuff, Marcus.
Yeah, I just love sharing this stuff. I love being the synth apostle.
Yes, the synth apostle. Yes. It's like the funk apostle with like Corey Henry, bro.
Well, I just feel like, like guitarists shouldn't have all the fun,
Right.
So many keys players, like their whole world is just this. You're on stage looking like you're working at H&R Block or something. and I want us as keys players to feel like musicians.
That's good.
And this is an instrument.
Come on.
And you can interact with plugins the same way. I'm not trying to say that you have to go spend however much it costs to get one of these.
Right.
I always want to encourage people to just always be digging for more musicality in what they're doing.
That's good.
Regardless of whatever tools they have.
Come on.
Just be a musician first.
That's great, man. So your IG, Marcus Wiles, is that your handle as well?
That's it. Just my first and last name.
And Wiles is Wiles?
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That is awesome, man. Definitely connect with him on Instagram. A few more things, guys, here too. Maybe in February, you guys saw some episodes where others shared their own keys rig. So, Marcus, I don't know if you know this, but recently we've been opening up to anyone that has a keys rig that wants to share their own keys rig from wherever you are.
Is it like a roast my rig thing?
Roast my rig. Oh my gosh. We should do a roast my rig series.
I want someone to roast my rig. I really do.
That is crazy. We did not promote it as a roast my rig, but maybe we should. No, but for real, if y'all have a rig that you want us to roast, no, I'm just kidding. No, but if you have a really cool rig, maybe you also have a Prophet 6 or Prophet 5 or whatever it may be, and you want to do a whole synth rundown of your setup, obviously we do require, a good audio and video setup if you're going to send us a video. But email me, Carson@theworshipkeys.com. Or send a DM on Instagram. If you have your own rig and maybe you're not, around here in person where we can film together, if there's any way we can share it on the channel and let others comment, if it's different enough from things we've already done, and it's beneficial to the whole community, we want to share it. We've just been opening up that lately. So if you do have a keys rig that you want to share, and again, it can be on one specific thing like a Prophet 6, or maybe you share your whole rig along with all the software you're using, whatever it may be. Let us know because we want to see it. We want to roast your rig. But anyway.
Dude. I would love to be with you to roast people's rigs.
Okay, just like reacting to it.
100%. I would love that.
Everyone's like, I'm not sending my rig in at all.
No, like with the love of Christ.
With the love of Christ.
Yes. Yeah, yes. Christ-like roast.
Christ-like roasting my keys rig. No, I love it. Well, guys, we're concluding this episode. I know it's been a lengthy one, but I hope you enjoyed it. Marcus Wiles, thanks for being on the Worship Keys podcast, and we're doing another episode next week, and maybe by the time you're watching this, it's already out, but it's all about the Nord Stage 4, and I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Because you said that you've been using this a lot.
I have, and it is Stage 4 specific, but there's a lot of 3s out in the world too.
Yeah.
And obviously, like in the church world, there's a lot of red.
That's right. That's right.
There's some stuff for y'all too.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
It's just about the Nord love.
That's right. Jesus' blood ran red. So.
I know. And
So does your keyboard.
I don't think that's what they were going for, but
probably not. Okay, guys, we're wrapping up this episode, but thanks again, Marcus. I really enjoyed the synthesizer stuff. We have not been able to really dive deep until today, so thank you for taking us through that. I love what you said is you got to know your gear, guys. I love what David O. Ramirez said. We had 3 episodes with David. Which
what a freaking legend! First of all,
I love David. He's so good. I can't believe he shared what he did on the podcast, but he shared his story. His dad recently passed away, and so much love to you and your family, David. As I know your dad passed away, he's a big part of your life. So much love to you, man. But what he shared on the episode was his template in Logic Pro, which is really awesome, and he has tons of synth plug. I mean, he might have all the synth plugins that ever exist.
He probably does, yeah.
But the work he does. But he also loves the Prophet. He loves the Mellotron. He loves just so many things. And he said in our podcast with him, he said, my suggestion to you is just find a way to get that piece of gear. So whether that's a Prophet 6, whether you borrow it for a month or whatever, learn everything in it, just in and out, the whole thing. And then he said whenever he learned something about a synth, he would sell it and buy another one.
That's cool.
Sell it and buy another one.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
which, like, again, that's not saying that you need to just go get one of these unless you want to. I fully support it.
Right.
But I will say, like, the big difference for me with hardware versus like plugins is that, like, I mean, I probably don't have as much as David, but I know I have hundreds of plugins in here.
Right.
And when I'm working, especially to a deadline, like if I'm producing or whatever, I'm gonna just get the same stuff I always do. And it's just like, I might have 10 different reverb plugins, but like I don't have time to learn 10 different reverb plugins.
Totally.
So you just kind of end up in your same ruts, pulling up the same presets and whatever.
Totally.
And like this gets me out of that space. I've got Omnisphere, I got all the things that everyone else has, and those sound incredible. I'm not necessarily using this for its fidelity,
right?
Which it has great fidelity, but I'm using it for the creativity aspect of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, bro. Well, guys, thank y'all for tuning in, whether that be Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Like, subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review, all the things so that more Worship Keys players can see my beautiful guests like Marcus here share his wonderful knowledge. So thank you guys for being a part. We'll see you next week.